The Fearless Launching Show was created to answer the question, how can I launch my big idea to the world in the most simple, straightforward way possible and reach more of the right people? I'm your host, Ann Samoilov, and I've been helping 6- and 7-figure business owners launch for over a decade. And while I love geeking out about improving launches, new launch strategies, what's working, what's not working, I'm also obsessed with exploring the heart, the mind, the challenges of running your own business. And that's what we're going to do each and every week. I want to show you how to launch that course or coaching program or other creative work and navigate the journey of being an online entrepreneur. So if you're ready for some new perspectives, some new stories around launching, well, I can't wait to share those with you. Let's get into today's episode. Hey there, welcome back to another episode of the Fearless Launching Show. It's Thursday, so that means we're going to get down to business, talk about some strategy. But today is a different kind of strategy because we're going to talk about really the strategy behind deciding to switch platforms, to update tech, to just change to use different tools in your business. If you're listening to this podcast, I think you probably have an online component to your business. And if that is true, then you definitely use different types of platforms, different tools to connect things, different tools to write your emails, where you host your website. Think every single thing that you use, even maybe down to Canva, Dropbox, Vimeo, you name it. Tools are everywhere in this business. And in order to run it smoothly, everything has to be working together. But sometimes we want to change what we're using. Now, before you go jumping into changing things, because I just went into that process myself, so I know, and I've done this over the years, really, there are some pros and there are some cons to changing. And knowing what those are before you move, before you cancel that subscription or you move your website, it's probably important just to think through some of these things. So we're going to go through them real quick and just jot down the ones that jump out to you. And then maybe if you need to listen again, and then that way you can pause, write down any notes in between each of the elements that I will share with you. So let's get into this. Let's talk about some of the potential pluses first and reasons why switching platforms can actually be really great for your business. Number 1, improved efficiency. Who doesn't want to be more efficient, right? New tools or systems may offer better features and capabilities and help you streamline the way you're doing business and increase productivity for yourself, for your team, maybe even for your clients. Number 2, saving money. Okay, so I know saving money might not be on your mind, but it should be, because finding cost-effective solutions isn't your way of saying, oh, I want a cheaper option. You just might find something that's more cost-effective, that helps reduce your overall expenses and allows you to put that money elsewhere in your business. Let's say hiring a copywriter. So knowing that you're saving money in one area, say your tools, and that it works with everything else is such a great, I love bragging. I'm not a bargain hunter, but I do finding unique ways of saving money, plugging the holes. All right, number 3, we're talking about scalability. Okay, everybody's talking about how can I scale my business? Now, switching to a more robust system, maybe with more features, can actually give you that option very easily. It can give you the option of the way you email your customers, the way your website interacts with different customers and gives you that information. There are lots of different tools that can help you do that. So by the same token, though, scalability might not be something that is important to you. Maybe you want to keep your business simple, straightforward, and you're not going to need those extra bells and whistles. This is why I used to use, actually, even before Aweber, there was another system I used. I think it was something to do with the fact that I was teaching Pilates. But then I used Aweber, and then when I realized that couldn't really hold what I wanted to do anymore, I went to the next level, which was Infusionsoft, and then Active Campaign. So this is something that you want to think about. Where do I want to go with this tool? So no matter what it is you're moving from or to, think about the benefit of being able to grow and flourish and spread your wings using one tool over another. All right, number 4. So there are some enhanced features you might find in your new tools. Like they come with upgraded features, things you didn't have in your current tool or your current platform. Maybe you get something that has some of the latest technology that is integrated into it. AI, I'm thinking of a lot of the different tools that I currently use have not slowly, but they have quickly input and enhanced what they already offer with some sort of AI element, which I love. So, enhanced features actually help you stay competitive. It helps you experiment with these things that will keep you competitive. It doesn't mean that your business is somehow better than somebody else who's not using that tool, but it keeps you on the cusp of what is happening. And in our world, in the online business space, we have to be aware of these things. Even if we're not planning to use them, we can make that choice not to use those things. All right, number 5, better integration. I swear integration is my mantra because if things don't work together, then you're in a lot of trouble. So switching to a unified system, one where everything is under one roof, like Kajabi, sounds to many people like that's great. I don't have to worry about integration. Everything already works together. For me, I have already other systems set up. So when I joined Kajabi, it was very challenging for me to hook everything up. And in the end, I appreciated the enhanced features of ActiveCampaign over Kajabi Mail. I love Kajabi still. They're a great company, but for me, it wasn't there on that kind of level. Also, what's really important is you want to know that your data can easily get from one place to the other if you need it. Actually, this integration is why Lead Pages has been in my tech stack forever because it integrates with everything. All right, number 6, improved security. I know we don't really think about this until it's too late sometimes, but newer tools may offer advanced security features to better protect your business and maybe even your customer information, which is very important. So look into any improved security features that you might be getting, whatever you're changing to, whatever you are thinking about moving to. This can be especially useful with email service providers and website hosts, and just there may be different things depending on what your business is doing, your CRM. Yeah. And number 7, which I believe is the most important here, and it actually should be, if you're moving to something new, it's got to be improving the customer experience because at the end of the day, that's what we're doing is we're trying to improve the experience of the person that walks through the doors, wants to work with you, wants to take your course, wants to buy your program, wants to come to your event, wants to buy your product. And so something as simple as faster loading times for your website or better, more responsive or immediate customer support, those things are important to people. All right. So now that we've gone through those, okay, some of the pros, here are some of the cons, and these are potential ones I've considered. I've also faced countless times when thinking about moving or not moving. Okay. First of all, the first challenge I want to talk about is the learning curve. Now, I love learning. I'm not going to lie. Learner is one of my themes in the Strengths Finder test. And so that is one of my main things. I love to learn. Setting up, using, systemizing any new tools, it requires time to learn. And once your business is going or has been going, it feels, oh my God, am I going to have to learn how to do this? And if you don't want to hire someone right away, to set up that thing than it's going to be you learning it. This can definitely decrease productivity for you or your team, depending on what the situation is. So just know there is going to be a learning curve. You're not going to probably know everything, even if, unless you spent months and months, and you just have to, my advice is just, you have to just do what you know you need to do. Find out, learn only the things you need to know for your business. All right. Migration is another challenge, okay? Moving your data, moving your content from the old system to a new one, moving your emails to the new one. Whatever that looks like for you, it potentially leads to data loss and to content loss and to errors when you're resetting it back up in the new platform. So just be aware that migration, just like learning, is time consuming. There is that. So you got to make, this is why I said, this is why I always think this, don't make these kinds of moves 12 weeks or less before a launch or sooner. Like if you're in that 12-week window on either side of the launch, just wait, please. All right. Number 3, during the transition, there may be downtime in your online services, in your courses, in your funnels, and it could be affecting your business operations, your money, your revenue, and it could also potentially frustrate your customers. So really think through this and how can you circumvent this? How can you make sure this doesn't happen, or at least you can minimize it? All right. All right, next one is compatibility issues. So sometimes what can happen is new tools might not seamlessly integrate with existing tools. This leads to issues that sometimes you can't even predict until they happen. So just know that can be a challenge. It doesn't necessarily need to be. And if you do your research up front, you will hopefully find anything. And I think that should be your first thing. Find out if the tool you're thinking about moving to works with everything the current tool works with. All right. And related to number 2 is actually the cost of migration. The cost and the process of switching tools or systems, it can be costly. And if you're trying to save some time, you might hire someone. There still is training. There's the expense of software licenses. There's the expense of and the time in the data migration. So the cost can be time or money. And the training, getting people all up to speed on it and understanding everything that it can do, or even just paying the company and dealing with any mistakes that happen there, any data or content loss that can happen there. Number 6 is vendor reliability. This is one of those things that when I say vendor, a company, when I've considered moving to different platforms, this actually is important to me because some of the course platforms in the past have had reputations for not being great with new customers. And that stopped me from signing up to work with them and signing up to put my courses there. Just be aware of how your platforms do business. Try your best to find out from current customers, and that should help ease the pain of that challenge. All right, number 7, resistance to change. Now, this doesn't just mean a team if you have one. This could be you yourself, because once you're used to doing things a certain way, it's hard enough as it is to get a rhythm going and like figuring out how you're going to do things. But when you start using new tools, my goodness, it can really cause some resistance. So just make sure to give yourself plenty of time. Know that there's going to be some issues, possibly. Just at least have fun with it a little bit and just say, okay, this is going to be fun. This is going to be a ride. And just go with it, because the resistance, it can fall away as soon as it can go away, as soon as you just get into it and you start using it. There's resistance, I think, at the beginning of any new tool change. All right. And similarly, this is number 8. The final one I want to talk about is customization. So here's what I mean by that. Let's say you're on MailChimp. MailChimp has a really cool builder for your newsletter, and it's really easy to what if you've used it for a while and you're like, oh yeah, I want those 2,000 free subscribers, but now you've got 5 and you're like, I'm going to be doing some funnels. I really want to use something that's a little bit easier. My friend said to use ConvertKit or ActiveCampaign, so I'm going to try that. Their customization tools are not going to be the same, so it could take a bit to get your newsletter looking the same, or it could take a bit to make sure that your emails all look the same, and so that there's no hiccup or abrupt change in the way that you do things. Now, I say embrace the difference in customization. Use it as a way to say, hey, we're new. We got something fresh going on over here. And yes, things are going to look different. Just embrace it. But just know that sometimes when you gain features, you lose features. And then all of a sudden, you're not able to customize something that once was so easy. All right. So as you can see, changing platforms can cause delays, downtime, frustration for various reasons. And also you can see that it can also breathe some fresh air into some parts of your business that maybe needed it. And it can have you looking at the things, that one area, in a completely different way. I have definitely made changes over the years, and honestly, now it doesn't trip me up as much as it used to. I would just overthink it and overthink it. Here's what I recommend. Before making any switch, my best piece of advice is to talk it out with someone, maybe someone who uses the tool, and also do a thorough review of all the things your move will impact. Okay, we need this to talk to that, and this person is the main person who uses it. We're going to need to train them. Consider some of these pros and cons that I've shared today as you prepare for your move, if that's what you decide to do, if you actually decide to move. And second, if you can create a plan for your migration, communicate that with your team, your existing customers, this can really help avoid some of these potential downsides, get people excited for the changes, and having that clear plan, plus document anything that you have to move, because this will help you avoid any mistakes, and quite frankly, it will help you with future moves. So, for instance, if you're not even thinking about moving to a new platform in any way right now, it may help you someday. The one step that you could take now is to document links to videos, links to your content. Keep a record of where your videos and downloads and your content lives. Maybe get your stuff so that it's not just all up in Kajabi's archives, but it's in Vimeo or it's in your Dropbox as well. And then keep a good record of that. Okay. That's it for this week. If you have any questions about moving platforms, or if you have a tool you're not sure you should use or not, let me know. I can talk it out with you. I can help support you as you create a plan and help you find people who can help you if that's what you need. So that's it. I'll see you Monday with another refocus session. I'll talk to you soon.